But to Pat's point, right now, look, that sounds well and good, and and for the record, I hold XRP, so I hope it does 5x. But right now, it's like 75 cents.
Correct.
So you're not talking about 250 billion. You're talking like 40 billion.
Correct.
All right, and the U.S. government has nothing but money and time. So from the outside looking in, I'm not an attorney, but this looks frivolous. This looks like somebody trying to lean on somebody. This looks like maybe, I don't know, like you said, MoneyGram, Western Union decided to get a couple senators in there and say, this is going to put us completely out of business. Yep. Like we make 25 cents. We make 25 cents out of every dollar transferred. These guys can do this instantaneously for no money. Like, get rid of these guys. But what's to say that they don't just keep dragging it out, bleeding you out? I mean, how long can they take this? If they take this thing 10 years, is Ripple going to fight for 10 years? What's their breaking point before they say, okay, you know what, fine, we're security, close the thing down, reincorporate in Mexico with this same exact white paper and start over?
It's a great question. My settlement scenario was if that pressure point existed for Gensler, that it was going to, put him out of business regulating all the other crypto because of the precedent. If those rulings don't come down favorable for Ripple, then I don't think there's a settlement. I think it goes to verdict, and I think it's on appeal, and I think we are looking at a couple years of that process. At some point, Ripple could tap out and say, listen, we'll go with a certain designation. We can only sell to accredited investors now. There's ways to get around it, but I don't see it happening. I see it either settling, because of those rulings that come down, or it goes to verdict. And there was a verdict in Connecticut not too long ago where a jury came back where there was a digital asset, a small one, where the jury said that's not an unregistered security. And so that's where I think we're headed.
So let me go back to that, though. Because the point was we have two things, settle and dismiss, right? You almost want settlement more than you want to be dismissed, right? Because if they dismiss it, then that means, hey, we're coming back again and again and again and again and again, right? So there's a part of Brad and Chris and the 62,000, and it's 62,000 you're representing, but there's more XRP.
Of course.
So what's the number, 456? I saw a number like 450, 500,000 XRP holders.
Something like that.
Some number like that, right? So if they dismiss and they don't do anything, what happens then?
Then we have this cloud hanging over us. Yeah. And what Gerard said, I think when you had Kurt, I was watching that video when you had Kurt on,
yeah.
and Gerard summed up the unfortunate nature of what's happening in this country. He literally said, Ripple is similar to Bitcoin. They were just dumb enough to do it in the United States. I mean, that sums it up. We'll be right there where there'll be this uncertainty. And right now you have Gary Gensler saying, come in and talk to us. As soon as they're using those interviews as a way to learn information about the company. As soon as you leave, by the time you get to your office, you have a subpoena. Mm-hmm. Brian Armstrong of Coinbase was trying to negotiate with them over that Lynn product. And all of a sudden, he shares with him all that information. He goes in and he talks to him. And then what do they say? If you bring that Lynn product, we're going to sue you.
Why do you think they did want to be the first to incorporate in the United States? They're obviously not dumb guys. Why do you think they wanted this fight? I feel like they kind of, maybe not the SEC, maybe not the way that they've gone after it, but I feel like they poked the bear, by kind of swimming against the current. And I don't know, maybe they thought they would skip the line and be the first that would become like some sort of, state-backed, as E.B. Tucker called it, Fed coin.
Right.
I don't know what the intention was. I don't know what kind of conversations you've had with them, but have they ever described to you what their thinking was with making this, an American product?
No, I've never spoken to them. And a lot of my critics will say, he's a plant for Ripple. Look what he's doing. Never spoken to him. There was a report done by Fox Business on this story, and they said Deaton's no fanboy of Ripple. I don't got anything against him. I'm an XRP holder. I want them to be successful because if they're successful, the whole ecosystem grows. But I don't know why. A lot of people ask that question.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.